Hello, 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 and welcome to Five Guys on Live, where once again you only have three guys in front of you. I am Zachary Kirk, and we have with us the one and the only CJ. How are you, Clayton?
I'm doing great, and everybody else?
Yeah, and we also have the one and only Rodney Wash. How are you, Rodney? We can't hear you, Rodney. We have no idea how you're doing on mute.
Hello. I have had a very long weekend, you guys. But I'm here.
I bet you did.
But I did not go out for Labor Day weekend. I actually went to a friend's birthday party, which was with 8 people, and then I went to a pool gathering at someone's house. That's about it. That's all I've been doing.
Zach, I'm following suit tonight and having some tea.
Oh, that's good. So you know what? We're going to start off. I'm glad you're following. And so, CJ, we're going to begin the show by putting you in the hot seat because the friends of the Five Guys last week really missed you. And one of our devoted viewers said that the reason that CJ is not on the show is that he was at the Live with Brandy and Monica party. So now, CJ, did you choose to go to the party on the night of work?
I was actually at the Tyler Perry Studios as it was being broadcasted live.
Okay.
And I had to sign an NDA.
Oh, well, you had to. Okay, well, that's good. So you had a secret. And I guess, that right there is worthy of missing a night of work. So how was your experience with Brandy and Monica? Did it live up to your expectations?
It lived up to it times 10. I was grateful to be a part of that experience, something that was for the culture and something that people have been wanting for a very, very long time. And to be there in that moment, it was just nothing but a blessing.
Oh, that's good. And so, this is a good opportunity. Rodney told us that he was spending his time this weekend. He went to a friend's birthday party, kind of kept it low key. CJ, what did you do and how did you celebrate your Labor Day holiday?
I was actually out of town in Charlotte because it was someone that's like a brother to me. It was his 30th birthday. So shout out to Darren. He just turned 30. And we just kept it low key. I got up with some of my old co-workers. We went to the park. And that was pretty much it. It was very low key.
I went for the Labor Day weekend. I went to the mountains, the North Georgia mountains, to get away. I knew that Atlanta was going to have a lot going on, a lot of people, a lot of traffic. Unfortunately, there's a lot of different things happening. So I chose to go out of town for the weekend just to get away. And I'm going to implement a very strict quarantining procedures post Labor Day for the next 20 days until I see how things have kind of fared in our wonderful city. That kind of takes us directly into our very first topic of the night, which is all about Labor Day weekend. Not only, and for our viewers who are with us, please tell us how you spent your Labor Day weekend. We'd love to hear from you and know what you did, because it can kind of frame our conversation. The CJ, this is actually your story. It kind of goes directly into what you selected to be your focal point for tonight. Go ahead, my friend, and tell us a little bit about this. This is just an image of actual Labor Day in the city of Atlanta. You tell us what your thoughts are.
I'm just disgusted, to be honest with you. And I was actually
disgusted.
I am. I was actually talking to a good friend of mine earlier. And he was like, you're just so passionate about it. I said, yeah, because I care about everybody, even if I know you're not. And I want everyone to be safe. And I want to be, back to normal just like anybody else. But we can't get back to normalcy if we're doing events and acts like this. And furthermore, putting yourself in danger and other people in danger. I've seen several posts of parties and video clips of people in the city of Atlanta partying with crowds of over 200 people, not wearing not a mask in sight. It's just terrible. I don't understand it, and I don't get it. And someone made a very good point earlier that like people live accordingly to how it affects them. So if it wasn't affected or they haven't seen someone firsthand be affected by this, and they act like it never happened. If people have seen people that went through it or they went through it themselves, then they're a little bit more precautious, which I don't feel like it should take for something to happen for you to want to wake up and go, okay, let me start doing what I need to do.
So, Rodney, let's go to you and let's hear your thoughts on everything, your honest opinion, because, to be fair, Rodney, I know that you've been a little bit more relaxed and laid back about some of the quarantine procedures because you've actually already had an asymptomatic case way back in the day because you took the antibody test. You never knew you had coronavirus, that you know of, and you actually tested positive for the antibodies, which is a great thing. So go ahead and tell us your perspective on it and what your thoughts are about this Labor Day weekend and all across America, people really going into relaxed protocols around the virus.
Well, I want to speak on first Pride. It really, my brother's silly.
Well, like I said,
really
your brother, Rodney, spent the Labor Day weekend under a rock. And you know what, Dante? I spent Labor Day weekend up a rock. I literally was at the top, like the mountain was super high that I had a cabin in the mountains. It was super high. So we, once again, have something in common, although that, my friend, is very rare.
Well, your views are beautiful, by the way, too, Zachary. They were very beautiful.
It was worth the money, but I did not like supporting the North Georgia economy. Everywhere I went, I saw Trump Pence signs, and it disgusted me. I will never be. I will not be able to support anyone who supports that presidency.
I'm surprised you didn't get up and leave, according to you. But
I was this close to doing
right.
So.
I'm surprised too.
And I didn't spend any money in any business that had the signs. I'm just saying in the yards. As I'm driving, I saw a lot of yard signs. So what I'm saying is I don't even want to support the local economy of that area.
Okay. But honestly, I'm going to speak on Pride. It bothered me that Chicago Pride was canceled. Houston Pride was canceled. DC Pride was canceled. New York World Pride was canceled. Miami Pride was canceled. Even Punta Cana was canceled. But the good old Saints said they wanted to come down here to Atlanta. And I am really disappointed in our Mayor Kemp and our Mayor Keisha Bottoms. For one, let me finish, then you talk after me. Let me go. It really bothered me because, for one, we are still in the COVID-19 era. We all can agree to that. And I'm going to call it like it is. It is. I don't care how anybody else feel. I'm sorry, I got to say. Put me back big. Don't put me small. Don't put me small. Don't put me small. It's always a hater. Thank you. But honest, can I get my screen time, please, Dad? Thank you. No, honestly, though, it really bothered me. One, because COVID-19 is very real. The reason why I did not go to the march, honestly, was because I feel like it was too many people out there, and my help comes first. And I'm all for fighting for my rights, fighting Black Lives Matter, but I felt like if I was going to miss the march, I was definitely going to miss any Pride event that came on. A lot of people came here, they were fighting, acting a fool. I went to Joe's and I left immediately because I went like 2 o'clock that evening on a Friday. I thought nobody was going to be there because we were at day parties, but the people was out without wearing masks. A couple of servers was coughing as well. And I was like, no, I'm not even coming out in this mess. For one, y'all, we have to take this seriously. COVID-19 is real. And I would not be surprised if the cases spike wherever these people came from, including natives or Atlanteans as well, because the people was out. Sunday, I saw the pictures. You would have thought we had a march going on. And I get it. We are bored, like CJ said. I'm bored. I'm used to going to karaoke at Virgil's. I'm used to going karaoke at Buckhead Lost and G's. Y'all know, if you know me, you know I love to sing, even though I cannot sing. But if I can sacrifice the little things I sacrifice, so can you. And I do not think a Pride was that important. Because I didn't hear about any panels, anybody doing giveaways to LGBTQ youth or anything like that. It was just a party. And I saw people going to City Girls, Mulatto, and all that other stuff. It was no significance in it to have a Pride this year. But we had one. And I truly feel like if you're sick, you did it to yourself.
So what I wanted to say, Rodney, before, and that's why I put us on the 3 panel, because this is, I think, a time to discuss. Keisha Lance Bottoms passed a city ordinance that she couldn't enforce. And sometimes I just want to say I want to say this in a nice way. people want to put blame where blame doesn't belong. And I want you just to listen to what I'm saying, because you get very defensive, but I don't know if you understand how that works. She passed a city ordinance. The Atlanta City Council passed a city ordinance that shut businesses down and mandated masks. However, it's not enforceable because the governor refused to enforce it. So the state law from the governor supersedes the mayor's mandate. So therefore, she's done what she could do, and the city of Atlanta did what she can do. They didn't say city open up and come to Atlanta. She told people not to come. She made tweets about it, and she put laws in place to block it, but the governor's order supersedes her, and it wasn't supported at the top level. So she did what she could do. So I don't think so that's just, I'm gonna be honest, it's not fair to put any blame on the mayor of Atlanta or the city council of Atlanta, because all the blame falls on the governor. She can't make a business shut down when the governor says that the law isn't enforceable. She did her part.
I blame everyone, even the city councilman.
Even when you know that's not how the law works. Like, Rodney, I don't think you understand the law, but you're still saying put blame on Keisha when that's not how the law works. She passed an ordinance that blocks businesses from allowing people in that passed the code. And these what the businesses did were they violated the code. And to be honest, what now should happen is that if there's evidence of a business violating the code, to me, they should lose their liquor license. If you have people going into compound, and compound allow more people in than what the law ordinance says, 50 people, whatever the case may be, to me, now the city should give them a harsher crackdown. But the state government said that we want businesses open, we want commerce to flow, we want the economy to boom. But what's sad is the people in the city, Black businesses, Black owned, well, even if they're not Black owned, because I don't know if the compound is Black owned, but businesses where Black people frequent chose to stay open and chose to take that money, and Black people chose to go. Dragon Con is an annual Atlanta event. Unfortunately, it didn't. They canceled it because they were taking care of their patrons. They cared enough about the people that dress up in costumes and put on dragon horns and tails and makeup and all type of stuff to protect them. So they didn't go. White gay pride isn't happening in, October. A number of other major city events were canceled to protect those patrons, but the Black community chose not to protect Black people and allow people to come in and violate rules and laws. And it's unfortunate. I do believe it's going to be an astronomical amount of cases. If you want to have evidence of this, you can simply go and Google South Dakota bike rally. The South Dakota bike rally was held in August, it was the weekend of August 12th and 13th. 7 days after the rally, you had some cases of people that had compromised immune systems contracting COVID-19. However, it wasn't until this past week that the large number of cases started to pop off and be traced back to that rally. That's when, in a month, we're not going to know the impact of this Labor Day weekend in Atlanta until 20 days later. That's why I said I am going to, from today until October the 8th, implement stricter quarantine policies for myself, where I'm going to wear gloves, I'm going to wear a mask, and I'm going to wear a face shield when I'm out in most public places, because I believe we're going to have a COVID-19 spike in the city of Atlanta and in Georgia that's going to be, unfortunately, a national travesty.
And it's so funny, Zach, how people in New York and Charlotte, I think CJ can attest to this, Houston, a lot of places aren't even going to the gym right now. But Atlanta is wide open. You can't even go out and sit down at a restaurant in New York and sit outside. It is very limited. So when they meet their capacity, they're done. Here, we walking in with no mask, like it's nothing going on. And that's scary. And I can honestly say, when I do go out, I wear my mask. And I can attest to that, because it's scary how people go into these businesses, don't even have a mask on, and don't even care. Like, they're just talking, laughing. They were even fighting this weekend. I saw a plethora of fights. It was crazy. Black Pride is a mess.
And the business owners, like, why are the business owners okay with sacrificing people's health just to make $1? That just lets you know how people are greedy and selfish.
I agree 100%. It speaks to, it's really unfortunate, and it's unfair, and it's really all about, and it wasn't just, Black gay pride. It was a number of businesses in Atlanta that opened up and that were overfilled to capacity and took advantage of the weekend. And, I think it's really sad that people came to Atlanta and now they're going back to their cities and they're going to possibly infect their loved ones and family members. So all I can say is that, all I can do is, and I don't want to, and I want to be fair and say, I do blame the people, but I also kind of don't blame the people because to me, I really still blame the government and what they're allowing to happen. All I can do is be responsible for me and pray for those I love and ask God to cast a shield of protection around my family and my loved ones, because at this point, it's really every man for him or herself. Everyone who came here, these were adults. They know their family members. They know what they have at stake and what they have at risk. And if they're willing to make these decisions, then I support them in making them and say, it's your choice and it's your life. All I know is I'm going to take care of, myself. And to be honest, I won't be able to. I think it's unfortunate these businesses made these choices, and that these club promoters made these choices, and I think it's really sad. The next story that kind of was brought to the table, and I think many of our viewers agree, comes from you, Rodney, and you brought up the fact that President Trump's tax records being released were once again blocked. Rodney, go ahead and tell us a little bit about this.
I just want to say this. I don't understand how anyone can be running for any public office again where we pay our taxes or our taxes fund your salary. And we do not have proof of how much you make and what you do with your money. It's unfortunate. Any better laws around that. If you cannot provide your taxes, you should not be running for any office. You are getting taxpayer money. For one. And that goes to show you how Trump abused his power. Trump used his connections, who he put into power, to get his way. Like we seen, he let two of his friends go because they were cool with him. Like, for anyone who is still riding for Trump, I am mind boggled, especially for the veterans as well. He is not claiming that he passed a veteran bill that was passed in 2014. Like, I hate to say this, but if you are voting for Trump, you are dumb. You are the party of the ignorant and dumb. I don't understand you. This man spewed out lies that can be verified, that you can really look up and see. Like, and the fact that you went after veterans and you lied about veterans who really fought for our country, who really did a lot for us, for our freedom, that speaks the value of your life. And the fact that when you got interviewed about it with somebody, when you was doing your State of Address in Union and somebody called you out, you got up and walked off because you knew you was wrong. And the fact you're not going to show your taxes, I have nothing for Trump. I cannot really wait to vote on November 3rd. Like I said, I'm going to be running to the polls. Trump is not good for America. I don't understand how this man is still president. And I truly hope they lock his ass up when he's done, when his term is over with. Because I'm over it. I'm over him. I'm tired of seeing him in the news. He had made us the laughing stock of the world. And this man is a big ass horn buffoon. And I'm ready for him to go. Where's your taxes? If you want Obama to provide his proof of his birth certificate, we want to see your taxes. Where they at?
So, you make a really good point. National polls show that Joe Biden has the steadiest lead in history. Like, his lead for leading Biden nationally is the steadiest lead and most consistent lead in history. The problem is, and I don't think there was ever any question, pardon me, I don't think there was ever any question that Joe Biden is going to win the popular vote. In the same way that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, and the same way that President Barack Hussein Obama won the popular vote. We're going to have now a record 16 years of Democratic leadership having the popular vote in the country. 3 million more people in America voted for Hillary Clinton than they voted for Donald Trump. 3 million more people. Yet and still, Donald Trump is still president because of the Electoral College. The question becomes, is Joe Biden going to be able to win the swing states? And that's where a lot of issues come into play. Currently, Joe Biden leads in Michigan. and has a very steady and very consistent lead there. But it's worrisome about what's happening in North Carolina and Pennsylvania, and because those are two swing states that Joe Biden needs to win, where his lead is not as strong. So it's going to be really, really, I think it's still going to be a very tight race for the Electoral College, not for the popular vote, but for the Electoral College, to see who's really going to be and see if Biden is going to win. I'm hoping that he wins. I speak that victory over him. But I'm very concerned by the number of people on my Facebook feed and on my Instagram feed and my Twitter feed who are supporting President Trump, that I would think there should be no way that they should. And it's a lot of Black men who I am seeing support. Well, it's not a lot, but it's a number of educated Black men that I am seeing saying that they're supporting President Trump, or they're not going to vote for Joe Biden because of, one, they're angry about defund the police, which is something I said on this live cast months ago. I said, this is a problem. Rodney, I don't know if you remember that. You screamed at me. You got vocally loud. You over-talked me. You started screaming and hollering and shouting and falling out. When I was saying this is going to hurt the Democratic Party, that because the majority of Americans don't understand defund the police. They don't want defund the police. And now we see it hitting Biden hard in the polls because he came out in support of police reform. Now people are using it against him and using it against Senator Kamala Harris. In addition to that, we also see them using a lot of other things against Vice President Biden that really should be benefiting him, and Black men supporting it. So it goes to show that a lot of our skin folks may not be on board with with Vice President Biden. They're supporting Trump. Gentlemen, what do you guys think about that?
I think it's crazy. And I was going to ask earlier too. Now, we can vote 45 days earlier from the actual election date, correct?
You can. Early voting is going to start soon, and I am going to early vote. Like, I'm not doing an absentee ballot. I am going to go early vote. I work from home still, and I'm going to take that time off of work, go down, and I'm going to vote. But I recommend anyone out there, if you do not work from home, you have to go to work 5 days a week. I recommend that you either go on a Saturday, and if you can't go on a Saturday, you take a day off of work and you vote.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to vote early. I work from home as well, so I will be taking time off to go vote early as well. And as far as all the educated Black men that are supporting him, I'm kind of baffled by it. Like, we are entitled to our own opinion, but when you see what this man is doing to our community and our nation, it's and especially that's affecting the Black community. It's just crazy to me on why you would even want to follow suit with this man.
It is unfortunate. So Kenny talked about the boat parade that was had. I didn't see the boat parade at Lake Lanier, but I did see the parade that they had in Texas where the Trump boats sank. Like, the Trump boats did not make it. Candy, did this also happen at Lake Lanier? I did see about the boat sinking in Texas, but I didn't see anything about the boat parades or anything happening on Lake Lanier. And so, some people are saying they don't trust. Dante said he doesn't trust the polls because they lie. And he also said there's been an increase in Black conservatives of 5% since RNC. If Black conservatives were impressed by the rollout of coons that took the stage at the RNC, and they feel like Herschel Walker is a definitive voice in Black America, or that Vernon Jones, with the number of ethics complaints brought against him, or Daniel Cameron, the reason why the killers of Breonna Taylor have been arrested, there's shame on them because they are coons, just as big a coons as the coons that Donald Trump rolled out on stage.
Wait,
Vernon
Jones is the bald-headed Black guy?
Vernon Jones was a former state senator in Georgia who ran for representative, and he was a former CEO of DeKalb County.
Oh, never mind. I need to talk. I say, what?
Oh, I didn't see the boat parade here in Atlanta, but I did see that a number of Trump parade boats did go under in Texas, and maybe God bless them all.
Now, speaking of voting. And it was brought to my attention a week ago, which I didn't notice, about a man named Alan Lichtman, who predicted the presidential election accurately for the past 35 years. Are you familiar with him, Zach?
I have. So what did he recently predict? Yes, I am familiar with him.
And he did predict that Biden was going to win this year. Now,
he did predict it?
Yeah. Now, I don't know how true it is, but they were saying that he was accurate for the past 35 years.
Yeah, he is. He's always. And so he was one of the few people that predicted that Donald Trump was going to win against Hillary. And he does it based on a very complicated statistical analysis of county by county votes of every county in the United States. So I'm glad you saw that. I've been actually, to be honest with you, CJ, I have been waiting for this poll to come out from him for weeks. And so I have not seen it. What is his name again?
Alan Lynchman.
Alan Lynch. So Candy, I'm going to look him up too. His name is Alan Lynchman. I just dropped.
I mean, 35 times. That's impressive. You know, if he was accurate 35 times, I mean, no, it's Lichtman.
I've been waiting on his poll to come out for a while, but I didn't know his name. I just knew that he had been accurate and he predicted Trump when everybody else, and they were like, maybe it's not going to happen. It's an abnormal. He even thought that he was wrong. When he predicted Trump would win, he thought that he was wrong and said, maybe I'm not right, or, you know, hopefully I'm not. He said that literally.
He predicted Obama for 3 terms. I mean, he's been dead on.
Yeah, he's been accurate. But when he predicted Trump, he literally said, I don't know if I'm right. So I'm excited to actually read what he's saying, and you know that makes me feel better. But again, my prayers will not stop. It's constant prayer in this house for the future of America. So, you know, here's a question, kind of throwing it out there to you guys before we go to our next topic. Why do you, when you guys, because I don't have Black Republican friends or Black Republican family members. That's not allowed in my life. As I have seen people on Facebook say that they're supporting Donald Trump, I may question them, and more than likely it's going to result in an unfriend or an unfollow, because I don't have the energy to invest in it. I know that these Black people exist. I have a list of the 36 people I have unfriended, several of them being my fraternity brothers. I told them I will uphold my oath to the fraternity and uphold my oath to you as a brother. If you need me, you can contact me via another brother and I will be there for you. But what I will not do is allow myself to see your nonsense on Facebook. I can't handle it. But for those of you, because I know you guys do have Black Republican conservative friends who are either saying they're voting for Donald Trump or that they're undecided. Why are these people? What's the voice of the Black conservative at this moment?
I know of one person. Rodney might know of more, but I only know of one person that voted for him in the past. And he just said, you know, he votes for what he believes in and who's going to do the right for, you know, that's beneficial to his life and his surroundings. So Rodney can kind of piggyback off of that, but I only know of one person.
And so, and Candace, I think you may have seen my Facebook post, because, you know, I laid out in the week leading up to the Democratic National Convention, everything from the Biden platform that he's speaking about in regards to supporting Black America. I'll tag you in that post if you haven't seen it, but it is called the Lift Every Voice Manifesto, and he lays it out. I just summarize. You can go actually on the Biden for President webpage to get a more detailed view. I just put out the points that were important to me, and I shared those points on my website. A lot of what he talks about is economic empowerment and ensuring that Black businesses have access to grants and loans at a higher rate than what they've ever been funded before, because that really is the key. Entrepreneurship and home ownership are the keys to economic freedom in the Black community. And so, as you probably know, when you're Black in America, you are 15%, you are twice as likely to be denied a loan for your business. And so this is something that he wants to work on. It's something that he has made a commitment to improve. President Obama made significant strides in growing this number and changing this. But under Trump's administration, it has gone right back to the same discriminatory practices, although people don't talk about it. What they want to talk about, oh, Donald Trump gave money to HBCUs. He sure did, but I want you guys to also know that over the weekend, a number of students at those HBCUs received emails telling them that they need to sign up to get their coronavirus flu vaccine trial. So now they want to use the students at the HBCUs as the coronavirus trial guinea pigs. Google that, because a lot of students put that on Twitter, the actual email they got from their college president who got in bed with Trump to get those funds. Tell us about your experience, Rodney.
First, I want to say it's an old saying. You always know what your enemy is doing, because just as important to know what your friends are doing. So I will always be friends with a racist. I always have a friend, a Republican, and also my enemies, because like you need to know. And sometimes, honestly, if you just have that conversation, It don't come from a place of anger. You understand people why they vote what they vote. Now, I want to say this. I don't have any problem with anyone voting Republican. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for or what party to align yourself with. However, I have an issue when you are voting for Donald J. Trump. I do not understand. And the most people think, what I know for black people say, oh, it's because of my money. Because I make this much money and I have a business. So when Democrats are in party, I pay more taxes versus being a Republican. He says not so far as the Donald Trump thing. It's just the Republican Party goes along with his money. His money go longer with them. Now, however, the other person I vote for, he just don't really the other person I talk to, I'm sorry, he just don't really care for black people from what I understand. And he's, you know, he just feel like black people are the most undesirable people. He's a black man himself. I said he needs help with that. I can't help him with that. But I really, to me, to be honest, Zach, they don't really have a valid point. Every time I see on Facebook somebody go against Trump, they bring up that a law when they talking about what's that law called, Zach? I can't think.
It's a 1994 crime bill that I just explained it last week. I'm making a TikTok about it next week. So I'm working on a TikTok to explain it even like simple. Like if you don't want to read all that I wrote, let me do a little dance for you and explain it that way, because people are ridiculous with this 1994 crime bill that had bipartisan support and that was done on behalf of the black community and black activists who begged the government to take action and do something.
Yeah. So the crime bill. And they have so much hatred on Mrs. Harris and Mr. Biden. But when I ask one simple question, well, can you tell me 5 laws or policies you agree with Trump? It's crickets. You have nothing to say. But you have all this hatred towards the Democratic Party and how these people are horrible. And you have this, you are holding somebody to say for this one bill, but you can't even tell me 5 things that you like about the person you're voting for. So are you on a bandwagon, or are you just hate the skin that you in? Because I want to know. I want to know, because I have not found one true Republican that can tell me 5 things that Trump did to make your life better.
You know, it's I actually am also working on like a post, because you see that meme about the promises kept and it's not true. I want to say that Donald Trump did build more than 3 miles of a wall. Now that people are lying on Donald Trump. Donald Trump built more than 3 miles of a wall. He built 5 miles. He built 5 miles. So when Donald Trump is sitting here saying that he's made his promises and he's kept his promises, he is lying to the American people. And the same way that he is lying about everything else, Candy. You're absolutely right. They're not doing their research. And that's also scary. Here's the thing. I watch the news every day. And of my television time, dare I say that 90% of that time is spent watching and consuming the news. Most Americans, 90% of people don't watch any news at all. And not only do they not watch the news, they don't even read the news. So they may scroll Facebook and social media, and whatever they see, they consume, and they go with the headlines and they run with it. And that becomes the talking point. That is a problem, and that's what's happening. And that is why Russian interference uses Facebook to manipulate and suppress black male votes. And that's why, unfortunately, it is working. With that being said, I think this is a really good segue to kind of go into maybe some better news and uplifting news. We have 2 good pieces of news to share. The first one, build a wall, and that wall didn't happen. I'm going to break that down later this week. Some good news to share is that Tyler Perry has now joined the elite billionaire list. You know what? Let me back up, because I just remembered the point I wanted to make before going there. And that's this. Rodney, you said that people refer back to their money, right? That's the reason why some of the black conservatives and black Republicans are supporting Trump, is that they talk about their money, right? Let me give you a statistic. Only 1.7% of all black people in America make 6 figures. 1.7%. That's it. So if you're watching this and you are in this elite group of people, then you have a lot to be proud of, unless you inherited your money like Donald Trump. But at the same time, you have to think about, even that isn't enough money when you are in that exceeded tax bracket beyond the $75,000 a year range, to where you're really going to benefit from Donald Trump's policies. You really benefit from his policies if you're making $300,000 a year as a family or an individual. That's when you might get some benefit, you might get some tax cuts, then and only then. So, Rodney, unless the people you know follow this really elite 1.7%, they really are lying to you, and they're also very misinformed. Because I know someone very, very well who falls in that elite 1.7 six-figure salary percent, and he is 100% never in his life gonna vote for Donald Trump. He will cut his neck off before he votes for Donald Trump. Period. Point blank. Period. Point blank. And now we can go to some good news, because that right there is just not an excuse to vote for Donald Trump. And good thing is that this man who falls right into this topic, Tyler Perry, is now a Black billionaire, one of the few in the world. And I guarantee you, he too is not going to vote for Donald Trump. If Tyler Perry, one of the few Black millionaires, isn't voting for Donald Trump, how dare you sit up there with your $60,000 plus salary or less and say you are? Gentlemen, what do you think about this man's ascension to the Billionaire Boys and Girls Club?
What bothers me, and it's always our own Black community. A lot of and I guess I follow a lot of negative Nancy's, and I have to I'm really in the process of redoing my Facebook, who I follow, what I look at. But it's also so intriguing to see what other people think of people's accomplishments and how they're celebrated. When the time when they should be celebrated, they're like, "Oh my God, he's horrible. His plays suck. His stories suck. He does this." I had a person who actually worked on Tyler Perry's set. I will not say their name, but if you go on if it's on Facebook, it's out there. They said that man was like, they were saying like how rude he was, and he paid people pennies to the dollar, and they were saying a lot of negative things. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you how your experience with this Black man, but what I do know is this Black man gets a lot of charity events. He hires a lot of Black people. He makes a lot of Black stories, and he is also very known for helping a lot of new up-and-coming actresses and actors get recognition. That's one thing you cannot take from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry give a lot of money to HBCUs. He give a lot of money to the homeless. He give a lot of money to LGBT people as well. I mean, I did all my research. I wanted to know, because for me, if more than one person is saying this, it has to be some type of truth to it. I'm not ever going to discredit somebody for how they feel about this man. Because you work with it, you did whatever, you know what you done. But what I do know is he like his name with everything, like other writers, that he said it himself because he know what his people want. And I can't get mad at that. That's how he made his $1 billion company, with following his rhetoric, his footsteps, and his own plan. He's a billionaire. But however, can we just sit down and not criticize this man? Can we uplift him one time? This man has the biggest studio in America. But yet we find every little inkling to discredit him, to talk about him, to say horrible and horrendous things about this man. And again, like I said, I have never worked with Tyler Perry. I know how he is as a person personally. But what I do know, what he looked like on paper. And on paper, he is an excellent man. And I can't take that away from him. So I want to say kudos to Tyler Perry. Kudos, and you keep fighting a good fight. And I want to say thank you from me, and I want to say on behalf of Five Guy Live, you are really helping the Black community, and I'm here for it. You've got Black Boy Show on Nickelodeon. Come on now. I'm all here for Tyler Perry.
No. You speak for you on Five. You speak for that guy. You don't speak for the whole Five Guys. Now you
I love you, Tyler.
On behalf of Five Guys on Live, you can't. That's you speak for Rodney Wash, not the all five of the guys. CJ, you were gonna say.
I was gonna say first, congratulations to him. And reading more about his story, I didn't know that he actually dropped out of high school, honestly. So I didn't know that, but to know his story, to know his struggles, to know to where he came from to where he is now, I think this is very well deserved, and I'm so happy for him. As someone actually I would love to meet one day and actually interview and have lunch with, honestly. Again, like what Rodney said, people can sit here and criticize this man for what he does, but people are always gonna talk about you whether you're doing good or bad. I think Tyler Perry is amazing. I think what he does for the community and for the culture is amazing. And I think he also gives a lot of people who are underrated actors and actresses, he give them a chance to really shine and tap into their craft. So I have nothing negative to say about him. I'm happy for him. I thought he should have been in the Billionaire Club, honestly. And shout out to everything that he's doing and everything that he has planned to do. So.
So I have to say that I also give shout out and kudos. I'm very proud of Tyler Perry for this accomplishment. I'm going to read a tweet. This is not a reflection of my opinion. This is not something that I believe. I'm sharing a tweet. This tweet came from Jay Tella, Jatella. So it's at Jay Tella. I'm going to hold it up. See that? Wait, see that? At Jay Tella. So that way you can check the source. This is Jay Tella's original thought. It is not mine. Jay Tella said, Tyler Perry became a billionaire by catering to misogynistic cultural appetites and patriarchal representational economies that repurpose historically anti-Black tropes like the mammy, the tragic mulatta, and the brute just under Black creative jurisdiction this time. That is the criticism that has been leveraged, and I wanted to share that because when I've heard people talk about Tyler Perry in a disparaging or negative way, that is what they've used. Has Tyler Perry inappropriately used stereotypical elements of Black culture to gain fame and status and wealth?
I don't think so, no. That's my opinion. I don't believe he has. I believe that everything he has done, he has turned all his plays, all his movies, he is always some kind of messaging behind that can help somebody in what they're going to do, especially that's targeted to Black families and homes. So no, I don't think he's done anything to get to where he was, and no different than what anyone else has done.
I mean, he would speak on. He made his stories was really correlated from what he wrote in the, when he talks about when he get interviewed. It's from his own personal family, from his personal life. So who are we to tell this man what to write about, who to write about, and how to write when he is writing from what he experienced growing up? I mean, and if you feel some type of way, that means you grew up like that too. So why are you mad if somebody's shedding light on something that goes to Black community? Let's keep it a buck. Growing up in a Black household, we don't ever talk about what's going on inside our house. We don't talk about if you got touched by Uncle Charlie, if his cousin Nell got his niece pregnant or whatever, are they raping people? Like, it's so much going in a Black household that that's like a hush hush. Like, you don't talk about it. So I'm not mad that he is exposing the toxicity that we have within our Black families. So that's true. It's a lot of things that I was like, you been not ever leave the house. Like, why would you tell somebody that? Why, if I'm hurting and I need help, like, I'm supposed to hold it in and go pray about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the Lord, but God give people tools to help you. Just like he give you a preacher to help you when you need your spirit fed. He give you psychiatrists and stuff to help you get and feed you mentally. So, and doctors when you need medicine. So I truly feel like we need to get away from that, and I'm proud of him for doing it.
Okay, I just wanted to again share the opposite opinion. It's not my opinion, but I wanted to share that opinion. And I agree with those perspectives. I think that Tyler Perry has the right as a Black man and a Black artist and a Black creative to tell the Black story as he sees fit. Every Black person has that right. The problem has come in when historically that story has been told from people who are not Black. And to me, they don't have the right to the story, and they don't have the right to take creative liberties and interpret our experiences. Tyler Perry has that. I have not been I'm not, to be honest with you, a traditional fan of the Tyler Perry work. I don't watch any of his programs. I haven't seen many of his films. I did see his interpretation of For Colored Girls, When the Rainbow Is Enough. But for the most part, that his work doesn't appeal to my artistic sensibilities, but that in no way makes me not proud of him and what he is doing for America, for his community, and what he represents as a Black man.
You said his interpretation of For Colored Girls.
Yeah, he did the film For Colored Girls Who Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Was. I saw that film. That's really the only.
I feel like he was actually mimicking for Booster Place, honestly. Not. It mirrored it a lot.
Well, but now here's the thing. That's actually not the case. For Women of Brewster Place probably mimic For Colored Girls because it's an actual choreo poem by Nataki Shange that was out way before Women of Brewster Place was written by Gloria Naylor. So Gloria may have copied that play because Tyler Perry, the movie is the play. He just made it for the film. So that's a play. It was a choreo poem. And I have not seen Acrimony, Candace. And so if you say it's good,
It was good. It was a good movie, Candace, yes.
And that's the one that
And
had
Brandy's in it. Brandy's in it, by the way. Thank you.
Was Taraji P. Henson in that?
No. Oh, Acrimony. Yeah, I was thinking of Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. That's one Brandy's in, but Acrimony is Taraji P. Henson, yes.
So I actually, you know what? I made Candace. I may go ahead and check that out this weekend. I may put that on my, weekend chill, relax to do list. Good. So I saw the clip, the advertising back in the day, but I think critics attacked it. But I'm gonna watch it because you said it was good, and I'm gonna tell you, if it's not good, you've lost all credibility in my eyes as a reviewer of popular culture. The next, Vince could not be here with us tonight. He is in Stockbridge with his family. They're having family time in Stockbridge. So, hey, Vince, if you're watching, or if you watch, or your mom is watching and she watches, hello to you. I want to take a moment, though. Did you guys read his article about the T-Mobile 10 million project that really is working to connect every student? What we saw, last week, it was a sad little clip of two kids sitting outside of a Taco Bell. They were sitting outside of Taco Bell because they were trying to get internet to do their online work for school. They don't have internet at home. The closest thing to their home was a Taco Bell, and they were sitting outside of Taco Bell, not inside because they wouldn't let them come inside. They were outside on the stoop trying to use the Taco Bell Wi-Fi to do their schoolwork. So this is something that is desperately needed, and I'm very proud of T-Mobile for doing it. Were you able to get anything done with this story, CJ? I know that Vince is.
I actually seen that. So they plan on giving 100 gigs of free hotspot to students who are in need of internet service, which I think is amazing, and something with the cell phone service as well. So I didn't go really deep into it, but I did see the highlighted part that they are going to give each student 100 gigs of internet hotspot, which I think is amazing.
I agree. I'm so proud of T-Mobile for doing that. And it's a shame that every single internet provider is not doing the exact same thing. This to me is something that I will praise T-Mobile for and shout them out. I am not a T-Mobile. I used to be a T-Mobile. They messed up a long time ago. I'm with AT&T, who has not yet messed up. So I won't be going back to T-Mobile. I'm not going back to T-Mobile. They're not going to get my money. But what I will do is shout them out and give them praise for this amazing accomplishment. Rodney.
I want to say this is a step in the right direction. I feel like, as everyone said in this panel, that every internet company should follow suit. For when education should be a free thing, and it is free, and internet should be free as well. However, I will not go back to T-Mobile because of personal reasons. But I'm proud of T-Mobile for stepping up. I will hope that my carrier will do the same thing. And that was really sad that Taco Bell, will let these children sit inside just to do schoolwork. Like, we have to really look inside ourselves and really think about things that are going on around this world. Like, and I had to sit back and look because I saw a horrible story topic in Texas where people's getting evicted. And sometimes, as for me, I'm gonna speak for myself, Zach. That I take a lot of simple things for granted, like having a couch, having a TV, having cable, having internet, and having a place over my head where a lot of people do not have this. And what I have done and what I have pledged to do, I'm partnering up with a couple of people, and I'm hoping everyone who follows me and everyone who supports me and have networks as well and things like this, I'm giving $5. Just asking everybody to give $5. We're going to donate it to a school system so we can help kids get laptops. So I'm trying to do anything in my power. I know, and people like $5, but it go a long way when you have a lot of people to give.
It will. I'm going to say, Rodney, don't give it to a school system. That's not where you should send that money. I think that's a mistake, and it won't actually reach the families as quickly, and it may not reach the families at all. I think that you'll come out better if you find a way to directly give it to families or purchase the laptops and give the laptops to kids who you know are in need. The thing is, these school systems have the resources and the money and the funds. Many of them are not choosing to use those funds for these resources. They're putting the burden on. So if they had the money, they still probably wouldn't give it necessarily to the kids. So what T-Mobile is doing is giving it directly to the people in need. That is better use of money. Don't give it to the schools. The schools have the money. It's not these school systems are poor and they're sitting here without. School systems have the money. They have the funds and they have the resources. They still have unspent money from the federal government, some of them, especially if they are run by, unfortunately in Republican areas. They have the money, they haven't spent the money. And so you could give them a whole lot of money. That doesn't mean it's going to reach the kids. So the key is to give it to the children who you know are in need, or buy it for those families if you don't think the families would use the money in the way that you intend. That's the best use of the funds.
Yes, well, I will have a GoFundMe really soon, because I'm trying to make sure everything's done correctly. So that's not, I had to go back to the drawing board. I was leaving to the school system, but I guess I'm not anymore. What I might I had to talk about off of here, but that's my plan, to just a way to get back to any child that's in Georgia. I hope that we can at least, my goal is to give 1,000 laptops out. That's my goal. So if I do that, there's some way that me and my friends, people who want to support the children education, can give back in some type of way.
Well, if you could find to where it can actually go to the actual families, I will definitely donate for sure.
Okay.
And so I think, Candace, what they spend the money on, they're spending the money on operating costs. A lot of, just simply what you have happened is that you have significantly fewer tax dollars that came into the economy this year that's going to be going out because schools are publicly funded entities. A lot of them are using this money for operating costs and simply trying to close the deficit gaps that came in with less tax dollars. And so then again, Savannah is correct. It's great to see if we can find an organization that's going to match your donation. And yep, Republicans have been defunding education for years, and they are still going to continue to try to do that. And when you look at, when you really think about it, a lot of these leaders, their kids don't go to public schools. Their kids go to private schools, and they do this so that they can have continued equity. Their kids are going to be fine, and they could care less about your kids in public schools. And they really want to see your kids in public schools at an even greater disadvantage so they don't take away from their kids. And that's how it's always been, and that's something we have to work on. So I think, again, it's always better to give to families, and that's always what I try to do in my any kind of philanthropic work, is to give to families. That really, guys, covers our variety of topics for the week. I want to open the floor up to any other topics that you guys want to bring to the table, or anything that our viewers want us to talk about and kind of get any opinions on before we conclude tonight's Five Guys on Live.
So it's not a topic, but it is something that's going on. I do want to shout out. So my artist, Carlos Dwayne, just dropped his new music video, visual art for his song 1127, which is now streaming on YouTube. So
I saw it.
Did you like it?
I did. It was really well done. He had some good dance moves. It was very well done.
Thank you. So yeah, shout out to him and all the people that put all the work into that production and that video, the dancers and him. So yes, please go check out that. It's off the Blank Slate album, and it's on YouTube. It's called 1127, and Blank Slate is on all digital music platforms. And
you can buy it on iTunes so that you can support the artist and make a donation to the work.
Spotify and Tidal as well.
So that way you can continue to so that this independent artist can continue to create great art for us. Rodney, any topic that you have on the table?
I just want to really and truly encourage people to register to vote. Please, 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 please vote, people. This election, it is really scary to see how many Black people are going to not vote or is voting for Trump. I don't see how this is possible. It's very unbelievable to see so many people supporting this man who lies. He give a rat's ass about any of you if you don't have any money. So like Zach said, if you're not making over $300,000, and that's probably nothing to him anyway. If you're not really making no type of money, he is not the president for you. This man have people in cages. This man has assaulted veterans. This man has continuously lied. This man is just a complete and utter disgrace to American history. And then we had some effed up presidents in the past, but he's a cherry on top. And also, people complete your census. Your 2026 is very important. That's how you allocated money to your district, to your area, to your communities. So please make sure that you complete your census and be registered to vote, and make sure that you're voting for the right choice, which is Biden and Harris.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Zach. You can go, CJ.
No, I was going to say too, again, I can't control what everyone does, but just please be safe out here. Be mindful of what is going on out here in the world with this pandemic, and knowing that summer, we celebrate the last official holiday for the summer, Labor Day, and that we are going into the fall season with flu season. So symptoms, could be confused with flu and COVID, and hell, some people might catch both. Unfortunately, I don't wish that upon nobody. But just be mindful, social distance, stay away from crowds. I hope the city of Atlanta shuts down the phase 1. So if anyone's listening that can make that happen, please and thank you. For the safety of all of us. Hell, the whole country should shut down, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. I personally feel like this. I feel like when all this started, and not to like a broken record, you had Memorial Day, you had Juneteenth, you had 4th of July, you had the 56th anniversary of the Million Man March, and now you have Labor Day. I feel like if they would have kept everything shut down and just reopened everything after or October 1st, I think that we would be in a better state that we are than right now.
I wanted to touch on this, and I just heard the rumors, people talking about it. But Zach, were you privy to hearing that Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres was on house arrest for 6 months?
No, I've never heard of anything like that. There's all these QAnon conspiracy theories attacking a number of people. There can be, I'm sure that the absolutely is invalid. So it's a whole bunch of foolish lies out there from these Republican, conservative, white conspiracy theorists who are wanting to attack and tear down Black people, liberals, progressive, Democrats, and members of the LGBTQ community. So I'm sure that's a lie.
Okay. Because I was like, I couldn't find any research on it. I was very intrigued.
That is not true.
Yeah, there was no research on it, no like proof of all. I want to see, do you ever hear anything about it?
They also said that Hillary Clinton sacrifices babies and drinks their blood. Oh, so wow. These people are and people are believing this nonsense. It's only getting worse every single day. But you're laughing, but I'm telling you, the lady who she is the Republican nominee for state representative here in Georgia. She's one of the main people tweeting out these lies, and she's about to win and represent Georgia in DC. She represents, I think, the Columbus area. She's going to win that election. So it's called the QAnon. These QAnon people. That's what it's called.
Well, let me say this. Oh, okay. Let me give y'all 2 shows to watch. Please watch P-Valley and Lovecraft Country.
Well, P-Valley's over now, sweetie.
There's people who haven't watched it. I don't know.
But it was amazing.
It was amazing. But I want to touch on Lovecraft.
It was all right.
Lovecraft Country is so good. Have y'all watched it yet? Have y'all watched it?
I started watching it last night, episode 1, and I kind of got like an idea of what it's about. I fell asleep on it, I'm not gonna lie, but I was already tired. So
okay, but it's so good. I'm really curious to see how Lovecraft Country is gonna play out. I love to see Black writers write about Black stories. Like, it's so called Lovecraft Country. So Lovecraft is together.
It's like in the 50s or 60s, right?
Yeah, 50s or 60s, and it's just
he had natural powers or something. I was so confused. I don't know.
So, from what I know, he's a descendant of this.
I haven't stop, Rodney, stop, because you sit up and you give away everything. You sent a tweet out last night that ruined P-Valley for me because because you said what happened. You sent the tweet out. I didn't watch it in real time. I was traveling. So here comes a tweet alert. So I unfollowed you on Twitter. I don't follow you anymore because you're reckless. So nope, I'm not gonna be able to follow you because I don't like for people to spoil it. So I'm driving home from the mountains, getting ready to watch P-Valley, and now I find out what happens to the pink because you tweeted it out. And so don't sit here. I'm going to watch Lovecraft Country. Yeah, it's a wrap. I'm not gonna be able to do that because you don't
okay.
use record.
Next
record.
time when
You don't consider your followers. You don't consider your followers.
It's been a whole day.
Rodney, you sent a tweet out last night at 10 o'clock after the show was over immediately. I had alert.
Well,
so
in fairness, the show comes on at 12. P-Valley came on at 12 after midnight. It was available to watch it then.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't do all that hacking stuff. I watch the show.
It's not hacking. Stars makes that available.
Guess what, TJ? The bottom line is I don't follow people that spoil shows. So don't sit here and talk and tell me.
If you want to talk about what's going on, exactly.
Because I haven't watched Lovecraft Country. I'm gonna watch it when it's like at the end.
First of all,
I can watch it all the way.
Rodney was saying here telling us what the show was about.
I wasn't giving away any like spoiler alerts.
Yeah, he was just telling me what it was about. I never watched it.
He said, I think his powers come from. I don't want to know where his powers come from.
I was asking him what the show was about because
you guys can sit and have a phone. This is a phone. You can call him on the cell phone and y'all can talk about Lovecraft.
No. He was telling me Zach, I never watched the show. I told him I started watching episode 1 yesterday and I fell asleep on it. And I asked him, what is it about? So that he was telling me what the show's about.
DM right because we're not answering these questions tonight.
What the show's about. You see what the show's about in the synopsis when you turn on the Netflix. It tells you what the show's about. So he was doing the same thing. What are you talking about?
I watched the show on HBO Max, so I don't know where you watch.
HBO Max will tell you a description of what the show is about and what each episode is about. So what are you talking about?
He was getting ready to go into he was going to reveal things that I would like to discover on my own.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was.
Okay, and just you gotta understand, when people watch shows, people are excited and they want to join in the masses. They want to talk about it online with people, so they go ahead and start tweeting and posting because people are watching it. So that's your own business. If you haven't watched it yet, you shouldn't have been in the mountains.
Exactly. Nobody told you to go to the mountain this weekend.
And if you had the Stars app, you could have watched it at midnight when the episode dropped. It's not no hacking. All shows are available after midnight on Stars app.
Know what, CJ, let me tell you what I don't do is I don't run up behind P-Valley like you do. I don't do that. I don't run up behind it where I got to have it on the app and I got to go because I'm all up Uncle Clifford's tail. I don't have to watch it like that.
I actually watched it on TV the next day. I'm just saying that it's available to you if you like to watch it is what I'm saying to you.
Savannah, if I knew
and if you're paying for Stars, why not have the app on your phone? That's what the apps are for. Why not?
I don't watch TV on my phone. I don't do that.
Well,
that's not what I do.
Well, whatever.
Savannah, if I knew how to share my access information with you, I absolutely
would. Savannah, if you actually have a Fire Stick, Savannah, and your Fire Stick is jailbroken, then you can go ahead and watch it on any of those apps that you download on your Fire Stick that's jailbroken.
Or they have a 14-day sign up for free, so you can really watch
right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Savannah, do the 10-day sign up for free so you can get it while it's up now. This is a great time. I think Stars is doing a lot of promotion and free stuff because they have their brand new Power Part 2 out. So this is a good time. You can catch up on it and you could definitely watch the 8 episodes in 10 days. It's definitely so you can watch in 10 days. So with that being said, I think the only thing I have to share is that Toni Braxton's new album is phenomenal.
Amazing.
It's amazing, right? That's something that we agree on.
Way better. It's better than cigarettes, smokes and cigarettes.
This is better than any album she's done in a long time. Yes. This is better than Pulse. I mean, I don't even know. I'm not a Toni. This is better than anything she's done since a long time ago. I'm not a Toni Braxton fan where I can sit here and call out what she's done, because her work just absolutely went down the drain to me. But when I tell you this new album is phenomenal from start to finish, it's a very, very mellow, calm, soulful R&B vibe that I was really surprised by. I would have never listened to this album if someone wouldn't have recommended it to me. I started playing it in the car. My friend said, check this out. I listened. I couldn't turn it off. I have been listening to this album nonstop since Thursday. I listened to it up the mountain. I listened to it down the mountain, and then I listened to it today while I drove around. So it's absolutely
from beginning to end. It's great.
From beginning to end, every song. There is not one song I don't like or one song that I would skip. You're going to love it. So Candace, when you listen, you let me know what you think about it. Gentlemen, I think that wraps us up. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week, and we will see you on next Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone.
All right, bye, y'all.